Welcome to another episode of Rarely Typical Players. Uh,
Boo 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 boo.
we're back with another one. This game is called Grimoires of Arkana, Marina's Odyssey. So I actually had to look up what grimoire meant because I didn't know what it meant, but I guess a book of magic or something is what the word means.
Hold on. I see why. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
What's going on?
No, we good. I'm good.
Okay. So, I guess I'll read the synopsis. This game is made by Ace of Aces. It's not done yet. It's still under construction. The synopsis says a tragedy has befallen the kingdom of Karystos. The nearby village Kapsala was attacked by a horde of monsters. A small squadron was sent to investigate, but were destroyed by an unknown entity, except for one. A young recruit named Marina survived. With the Karystos guards on high alert, the royal family sends her on a mission of the highest importance. Find the culprit and stop him at any cost. As she sets foot on Naxos with Ares, an owner of a shipping company, they find themselves in a conspiracy that could put the entire world into a silent chaos. Okay? Okay. So, first off, I guess I'll get the gameplay footage going now. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, so D7, what did you think about the game? What did you think about this game when you spun it up?
What did I think about the game? Are you asking me that question?
Yeah, like your initial feelings when you start playing it.
Okay. I felt like I'm a guy that loves retro style games.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I like how you know the game reminds you of the SNES pre-PlayStation era. So I think the game, kind of introduced itself as, you know, um, all right. So let's give a quick background on Ace of Aces.
Yeah.
We've been knowing Ace of Aces for a long time. Right? And he does really good works in the RPG maker community. You know, I think I met Ace through one of my live streams a long time ago. I'm talking about like probably like around before COVID.
Yeah, 2019 era.
Yeah, 2019. Oh my god. And he was like, "Yo, check out my game. Um, check out my game. I would like for you to play my game, Immortal Sin." And this was on what's that website? It's not Itch, but what's the other one?
Wasn't there like Game Jolt?
Game Jolt. That's what it is.
Game Jolt.
When you talk about Game Jolt, you going like way back, way back. So yeah, he told me to check out his game on Game Jolt, and the game looked pretty interesting. So Immortal Sin, until he told me how long he'd been working on the game. I'm like, whoa. I think at that time it was 10 years. Like at least 10 years he was working on it. Okay. I mean, I thought, this is like the standard for for games and stuff like that. So
A multi-generational development cycle.
yeah, till I started getting more and deeper into the RPG Maker community, people started talking about his game because they recognized the game. You know what I mean? They recognized the developer. They recognized the game. They say, yeah, this game been out for so long. I think that he need to scratch it and start something else because it was a lot of flaws. Right?
Yeah.
So when I started this game, you could see the great improvement that the developer, put effort into versus what the other game has. So I think, from that standpoint, I was pretty shocked at how he improved, versus the other game. So I, the game gives I don't want to say a professional touch because there is some mistakes, there is some bugs still, there is some
There's also some jankies with the map, like you can see the seams of the tile set and stuff.
Yeah. Even with when the girl was standing at the table, she wasn't flush and sat like on the chair. It was like, when you're NPC, like your party, your followers, and you're in the scene, you don't want to make it look like, you at least want to make it like they're actually in the scene without anybody like poking through an object or hiding behind an object when they shouldn't be hiding. It shouldn't be like that. So I mean, but to give him due credit, it is still in development mode. He still has a lot of work to do, but I think he tried to like really revamp and correct the mistake that he probably had in the first game, because everybody was like, the game is this, the game is that. So he tried to improve it, like the battle system. It's not first person anymore. He tried to improve that. So I mean, that's why I wanted to say, kind of give you guys a quick backstory about the developer and from where he was at until he is now. I could definitely say it's a bigger improvement than where he was.
Yeah. I would agree, because I played the previous game too.
Yeah, and like most games, I think this game started out on a slow burn because you got the long carriage ride and you going on like you gotta go talk to somebody. You gotta talk to this person. You gotta go get some clues. Then when you get in clues, you're being taught about a card game. Well, not really taught about it, but the NPC want to teach you a card game. It's kind of like dragging it out a bit,
Yeah.
And
one sec.
some people.
1 sec.
Okay. DK, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay. I disconnected my fan, okay? So now it is peaceful and quiet.
Oh my God, DK don't let nothing go by. Like, oh God. Y'all don't. My man got a fan on. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go.
Well,
Let's freaking go.
It's hot. It's summer,
Yeah, but where was I? Oh yeah. You could definitely see his improvement and stuff like that. But like I was saying, like the game was already, at a draw with the carriage scene, then you're in the town, then you're being taught about the card game, then there's more talking, more talking, more talking. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have any like action scenes or whatnot, then you're gonna kind of like struggle in a way where you got to retain your players' attention. You know what I mean? So in a way, you can, unless you got anything exciting happening, you're gonna lose your players' attention. You know what I mean? Like really quick, really quick.
Yeah, that's what I always like when you get right into the action.
Yeah, yeah. Like what could have helped this game, like get into the action, is maybe like a opening cutscene of why they're going there. You know what I mean? Like why? You
Right.
know, like what's the reason?
Like the
We
sense of
could,
like a sense of urgency or something, you know.
yeah, you could have had like a scene where you actually show the attack. You know, you actually like see why they're being sent, like people getting slaughtered, people under attack to you know, and stuff like that. I think one developer did that, and they did a really great job. Dang, I don't want to like, you know, mention any names, but his opening cutscene, it was straight onslaught, battle, war. You know what I mean? Everybody praised it. He did a Kickstarter, did exceedingly well with the Kickstarter, just because people loved his opening cutscene. You know, he got straight to the nitty gritty, straight to the meats and potatoes, without having to drag out a story. You know, without having to put you out on a what do you call it, a hide and seek type thing. You gotta go find a fetch quest,
Right.
fetch quest. You know, but with this game, you know, I mean, it took a while before you got into battles, because you know, just like most games, you really gotta get to a point where you can introduce that, but you got to be really careful. And this is more like a critique to the developer. You got to be really careful how you draw your scenes without any action, because your player isn't going to be interested.
Or they might
You know
not
what I
be
mean?
if it's not pulled off correctly or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One Phoenix down. That's it.
Okay.
One Phoenix down. That's the game. That's the game. By dang, what's his name? Excuse me. One Phoenix down. I know that's the game I'm talking about. That's the game I'm talking about. Holy smoke! This German dude knows his stuff. RC Dunn. That's what it is. RC Dunn. If you ever gonna see this podcast, I apologize, my guy, but you know my brain isn't braining, and I didn't want to mention those names. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was basically in the same boat like this developer. First game was okay till he got the criticism, and he just destroyed it. Like he destroyed it and did his thing with it. He did his freaking thing with it. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, you know, that's the only thing. That's the only thing. Like we're like, I say we're 20 minutes into the podcast, and I would say, based on the timeline, we really got action 12 minutes into the game for our first fight. 12 minutes. Do you think that's too long? Like, to really get into like the good part of the game?
Well, I don't think you necessarily need a fight in 12 minutes, like, but what I'm, or in shorter than that, but it might help. But what I'm saying is, like, sometimes if a game, though, has, like, good scenes, though, like, good cutscenes, and, like, you feel like you can connect with the characters or the story in some way, then it could be fine. But getting to the action sooner rather than later is good. But there was something else too that kind of happened with this game, right? Like, didn't it? Like, I might be recalling it incorrectly, but didn't the beginning kind of start with, like, there was gonna be a fight or something, and then the Marina or whatever, like, got out of there and then fell unconscious or something, and you didn't even see the action. It was like told to her what happened, and you didn't see the action for yourself or something like that, right? So that, I felt like that could have been, like, the scene could have been that she was there, and and maybe, like, and then maybe, like, got injured or something, but barely survived or something, so you could see, maybe see a little bit of the action. You could have done it, like, pretty early, and it would have been fine. But I don't know. It's just my thought.
Yeah. So so basically, kind of tie into everything. The story. I mean, you're basically investigating a recent attack that was done, and you're being sent by the royal, like the queen, the king.
Oh yeah, and it's this part right here, like, that's in the gameplay footage. This is like, there's about to maybe be some action here, and then I believe she gets removed from the situation, and you don't really, and there's no, like, like, it could have been a little bit more. I want to say theatrical, because, like, when you're making, like, a game, when you're making an RPG, it's actually very similar to making a movie. Like, even the characters are called actors, right? Like, it's like you're making a movie. So if you're making a little mini movie, so oversimplified movie, how do these scenes impact the player or keep them interested to keep playing, right? So I feel like this part was a little bit of a wasted opportunity, but I don't know.
Didn't one of them guys get murdered or something, or was it another game I'm thinking about?
No, I think it was this one. I think that they get into the fight with this creature or whatever, and then after
you're supposed to get away.
Then you're supposed to get away, and then you get removed from the situation, and then then she collapses outside the cave.
She collapses outside,
and then she's waking up, and the person is explaining to her that her comrades are just dead. We found their body.
One is dead. Chief is dead.
Oh yeah, but the other one is missing. Yeah.
The other one is missing. That's correct. The other one is missing. Chief is dead. See, this part right here, this could have probably, like, could have been, like, your beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're showing the fact of what you was brought out to do. Like, first and forehand, you was brought out to do just this, without having to do all the extra, searching and talking and stuff like that. You could have tied everything into the story and make it more like a mystery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like give the clues out, further down. But it's still good. Like, it's still a good attempt. It's still good.
Right. It just needs a little more time in the oven to marinate.
Yeah. Like, I would have just, like, gave an opening. Then when she awakens, then you could give, like, little tidbits of this and that, because right now you gotta you know, you can see what the main thing is. Like the guy in the purple robe, you have to find out, you know, because he is the one that's summoning these monsters. You know, so you already know who you're you know, who you need to go after. But we all know it's going to be someone that's over him. You know, he's just an underling probably. So I mean, like, it could go so many different ways. It's just, my main thing is just putting it, setting it up where your player just won't, like, get fatigued just by reading and cutscenes.
Well, yeah, because what in the beginning, before this cave, even when you like, the first thing that you end up having to do is like go to like various buildings and like talk to people at the inn and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just kind of made it feel like nothing was really like urgent or like that you wanted to keep going. I don't know. What might have been good instead is if they started out like even like outside the cave, maybe it's like raining or something. You make it like more atmospheric, and then you it's like in there we're gonna find this and blah and then you know can take off from there. You get right to the action. You have kind of a reason why you're there, but you don't need to know all the details. And
hence the slow burn. You know, that's the slow burn I'm talking about. Like,
yeah,
you know, you don't want just that. You know what I mean? Like, some people are like, well, just get to it already. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, and that could be easily done with cutscenes.
Yes.
A lot of people does that. You know, like I'm sorry to use this for example, Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? Final Fantasy 3 or 6. You know, you walk through the snow. You know, they get straight to the nitty gritty. You know, you're here to find the Esper, but you know that she's a slave. She's a magic user, but they're under her control. And within not even 5 minutes, you're in your first fight. You know, not even 10 minutes down the line, you're in your first boss battle. You know, they went straight to, they gave you action in the beginning. Then after that fight, it got slower because now we're doing introduction of character when you get control of Locke.
Right.
Even that don't last long. You know, because now you're going through the cave, you're running from the wolf, the Narsh police, Kefka's men, and you fall down the cave, and now you control them all, like the Mughals.
Right.
Now, like, everything is just a surprise after a surprise, you know, to keep the player engaged.
Right. Yeah. Each hook can lead to the next hook, so to speak.
And it's not long. You know, it's not long. See, that's what I'm trying to encourage. You know, it's not just this developer. Is future developers as well.
Right. Right. No, it's a common issue.
Yeah.
In making these type of games. Yeah. I have issues with it as well, but I do my best.
All right, so I mean, in terms of story, that's basically what it is. You know, you're on the mission to find out who is releasing these monsters. You kind of find out who is doing it, but he's just too powerful for you to do anything about it right now. So now you must basically, you know, go on the hunt for him. And, you know, just like every game, you know, you get stronger, you get better allies, you just dominate. So this is where we could talk about, you know, the battle system. You know, like most RPG games, the core reason why we're playing these games is not just for the story, but for the battles as well. You know, because RPGs equals experience, equals leveling up, equals learning abilities, learning skills.
Yeah.
And we all know how the first game is with this developer, with the first person battle system, and them using like having 8 spiders on one screen and 25 pirates on another screen. Then once you cast a magic spell, each enemy gets hit one by one by one by one by one by one. Like it just pops up one by one, and the damage doesn't show like consecutively. Uh, um, what do you think about this game battle system?
I mean, it seemed like there was. It seems like well, it's better than the front-facing one of the last game. That's for sure. But it kind of just felt a little bit standard in my opinion. And then there was balancing issues in some respects too.
Okay.
It wasn't. I mean, I can't say that it was awful. It was okay. But it,
Okay.
but it, you know, what I'm always kind of looking for is a little bit of, I haven't seen this exact mechanic before. Like that's kind of what because after a while you've played so many games, it's like, oh yeah, this is like the other one I've played. But like whenever I can see something like fresh or different, that's what kind of sucks me in. But I did not see anything to that effect very much in this battle system. But again, I don't want to be too harsh because it does work. It does what it needs to do. But it's just like I've seen it before, kind of thing.
Yeah, gotcha. See, and unfortunately, that's what you're going to see with most RPG Maker games, unless they like have like a custom, you know, battle system.
Yeah.
Or like custom like characters, custom sprites. You know, it's like you're going to see the same thing over and over. But I see what Ace is doing. You know, he's kind of turning it into a to a strategy. You know, battle system, because with the shield system,
Yeah.
you know, you could break the enemy shields, or you can you got some skills where you
Where you do
ignore their
some,
shields,
yeah.
and you just straight do damage. But once again, you know, games like that, it renders your regular attack useless. You know, where you're dependent on skills to win.
Right.
Right? Like certain skills in this game, you know, it only you find the best ones. Like
Yeah.
poke is good for enemies without a shield. You know what I mean? It does tons of damage. But the one that costs 100, the one that makes you dizzy, it makes them dizzy but doesn't really do much damage. But the one before it that costs 50, that does tons of damage whether they have a shield or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of confusing, like how that work. You know, like what skills you need to use effectively. And I think it feels like it's filler, like it's just there, and it's not entirely improved. You know, it could be a good tie-in to the battle, but it's just not like designed well enough, because you get put in the bind and it renders you useless because the enemies are just as strong as you are too, and they just have this. They have the same mechanics as you have too, because you have shields. Like your battlers have shields. Like starting off, they have shields as well, and the enemies can break your shields and break through your defense and do tons of damage, which one shot in you. And this is like very often in this game.
Mm.
Like you get to the point where it's too early to be like one-shotted. Like, why am I being one-shotted?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and so, but basically, like, the skills are like you figure out. I mean, pretty much there's only one skill you can choose for a situation, depending on the character for that will actually work on the enemies. You know, based on the way that it's balanced and stuff. So it you know like I don't know. You could have different types of skills maybe that do different things that way there might be like more ways to play. I don't know, but it was okay. I just kind of give it like middle of the road vibes when I'm playing, when I'm the way I feel when I'm playing the battle system on it. Just kind of medium, middle of the road.
yeah, and that one attack with the guy you get, Reese, I believe that's his name.
Mm.
He have like a bomb attack. That Joker do so much damage, it's ridiculous. Like, it costs 100 SP, and it does like 100. It does like tons of damage. It breaks shields and everything. But the regular attack, the guy with the gun, his regular attack sucks.
Yeah.
Like attacking normally is like they don't do tons of damage. You know, like you relying on skills. Even with the leveling up system, you know, I believe the game you get skill points and you increase your stats that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like if I buy more strength, you know, every time I put points to it, the cost gets higher.
Yeah.
Like it costs more to like buy in the future.
And the economy in this game is a little bit tight, meaning like the amount that things cost is like pretty expensive compared to what you have.
Yeah, you fight 3 enemies that you're going to guarantee you're going to be using healing items to buy. You know, you're going to be using healing items, and you only get like 200 gold, right?
And then
200 gold.
And then the healing item is like 400 or 500 for like the
the cheapest is 100, which heals 40 up to 400, I believe.
Yeah.
For the 50% or 60% heal.
But yeah, I'd be struggling to get by in this economy and that's in this game. If I was, the cost of living seems pretty high.
Yeah. So I mean, like the battles, like, and I think there's a really, well, I don't think I know. There's a real big balance issue here, like a balance issue, because the enemies hit just as hard and you lose a lot of health as well. Like, regardless of your strategy, like there's like really no guarantee that you're going to win, even though you're strategizing correctly. Now it comes to luck base. You know, oh man, I got freaking lucky.
Yep.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Like you got super lucky on that last fight. You know what I mean? Then the part where when the enemies attack the town and you gotta go and kind of escape, and you can fight enemies before entering town. Them enemies are overpowered too. Now, not only that, if you have to fight to get money, like you have to fight and stuff to get money. I guess this area is the part where the developer feels like you should grind out experience or grind out SP points to get gold and money and stuff, because you have no you cannot afford anything at all. Like, let's say you get to this point, you can't afford anything at all to like get ahead to buy anything. So you have to keep fighting these enemies over and over and over to try to get gold. But it's going to be rendered useless because you're constantly buying healing items because you got to keep healing. You know what I mean? It's like you're not going to survive at all. So you have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the problem I found myself in. I found myself in that problem because I'm like, bro, like I'm trying to get ahead, but I can't because I'm constantly trying to fight these enemies. I'm constantly trying to, build up my skills, but I can't because I'm constantly keep buying healing items.
Which drains you financially, and then you can't.
Which drains you financially. Then the next part you go to, you're told that, hey, you can't. You either buy something like enough items because you can't turn around. Okay, I bought 9 healing potions. The good ones. You know what I'm saying? I go to the cave, right? This doesn't make sense though. You're going to the cave, you see the guys talking, the soldiers talking. Your characters, they're not even trying to hide. They're like standing still. You know what I mean? Like, they're standing still, waiting to get caught. It's like they want to get caught on purpose, but at the same time, they are not trying to get caught. You feel what I'm saying? But they're trying to get caught. Doesn't make a lick of freaking sense.
Yeah.
Hyper gameplay on Paper Planes for the next review. You know what? You know what's so funny? Me and Cychronic, we're trying to break into different engines. So, I already played Paper Planes. I thought it was a good game. I mean, I'm pretty sure Cychronic don't mind giving it a go.
Yeah.
We're trying to like, RPG Maker is our like
our roots.
Our caviar, our lobster tail. But we don't mind like breaking out into other engines and reviewing games as well from them either.
I mean, I even got my own engine going.
Yeah. But back to that area, it's just like the battles was just so bad, right? Because I'm not saying the fights itself, but the balancing. Like, I got into another fight. The enemy forced me to use so much of my health potions, not knowing that every time you get in the battle, what happens? It auto saves. So I'm in the area where I cannot leave to go back and get more supplies because the game don't let you save anytime you want to save, right? It saves at certain intervals or at ends and stuff like that. But when you go to this area and you get in a fight and you gotta use your resources, you're stuck with what you have. You're stuck with what you have. Like I went from 9 potions to 3 potions and gotta fight a 3 enemy boss after I just fought a boss. And I'm stuck and I can't go back. And since the game auto saves, unless I save before, I'm stuck like Chuck. There's nothing I can do.
Oh, you mean like the autosave is the only save, but then you're trapped too far in the
Yeah,
cave
the
for
auto
the...
save is my only save, and my old save is 30 minutes before.
Right. Yeah. See, that's kind of... That's, and for me, that's what happened to me too. So that's when I kind of stopped playing, because what happened was I got really far in the cave or whatever, and then I ran into a crash that said that like an integer can't be afloat or something like that, and then
Oh wow.
and then I was like, well, let me load up my last file, and it was like from 30 minutes back, and I was just like, so that would be so
Yeah, I mean,
one
it
area.
happens. Like it happens. You know, you try to make a design that you think is gonna work. Like you think that is that design, but it doesn't work like that, because this is what's gonna happen, right? This is what's gonna happen. Your player's gonna be pissed off because they spent an hour playing your game. Now they get to a point where they can't return, but they're thinking they got everything to be okay. Come to find out that, okay, these enemies that are avoidable, but you don't want to avoid them because you probably want to fight. You know, most people don't avoid enemies, they'll fight them. Then, as soon as they fight them and using their health potions, now they realize they effed up. They messed up. Like, why did I get in this battle? Because now, let's say, okay, I spent 5 potions, now I got 4. I died, right? I died. I get to the boss kills me. Thinking that, okay, I'm good, I'm gonna have 10 potions. I'm gonna have 9, 10 potions, because I'm gonna start where I was at the beginning of the level. Then I'm gonna avoid the boss, thinking I'm good, but you're not good, because soon as you load up, you're going to spawn in from where you last killed the enemy, the regular enemy,
Yeah.
because the game autosave features. Now you're screwed and you're stuck and you can't go back.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's easily fixable though.
Easily fixable, yeah. It's easily fixable, but who's going to be waiting for a fix?
I
Me and
don't,
you, we're patient. We're probably patient enough to wait, but the next person, like the average player, is going to be mad. I mean, if they really want to see the end, like how the game progress, they'll start over and try to do better. But the fact is, they have to start over. If they didn't make a manual save, then they're screwed.
yeah.
And that's what you want to avoid. You want to avoid your player ever getting stuck. Like we had that in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mm,
Like when you get to the castle and you fight against Weegraf,
right.
and you're not strong enough to beat Weegraf because he's so fast. That fight alone made people restart their whole game, and they're like 10 hours, 20 hours in.
Right.
With the remake, they learned from that mistake, and they made it where you can actually escape the castle to level up more if you need to.
Mm.
But you're not square soft. I think they were square soft at that time. You're not Square Enix or Square Soft. You can't make a mistake like that, because they
One
got.
sec. I got somebody at my door, but you can keep going. Sorry.
All right. they got a following. See, us, we don't have that. Like, we don't have the following to make mistakes like that. You know what I mean? So, being the average Joe, you can't do that. If that makes sense. So, you gotta have a plan for areas where you can't really go back and buy stuff, because that's how
All right,
you
I'm
progress.
back.
You know what I mean? Like, if that's part of your game or your story, like the progression where you're stuck, then you just need to make the enemies more feasible
Now,
and not
now,
as strong.
now, speaking of feasibility, look at this battle system right now. Like, these people are like the size of like squirrels compared to like the buildings.
Uh
Like it just kind of looks funny to me, but
But that's RPG. Like, that's like the default battle bat. Like,
right, because this game is pretty much all RTP, right? All RTP stuff. Or
yeah, it just got
yeah,
FSM
yeah.
tile set.
Well, FSM
That's
is
it.
basically RTP because it's been around for so long.
Well, I mean, they had to pay for it, you know, so it's
Yeah,
kind of, it still got a premium shine to it, you know. So.
yeah. Well, no, I actually like the FSM sets.
Oh yeah, it looks
Yeah.
way better. Like, it looks way better, and it's MV, I believe. Is this MV?
I thought it was MZ, but it might be MV.
Now the characters is definitely MV.
The characters are, but the engine though, like what engine they used.
I wouldn't be surprised if if the engine is MZ and he just ported it over.
It is MZ because of the 3D animations. Yeah, it's MZ. Yeah, because in the battles they're
Okay,
using.
it got the okay. Um, gotcha. But yeah, that's the problem, man. Like, I think the game just suffers from enemy and player balance issues. Unless we're doing something wrong, unless we're supposed to grind out a whole bunch of experience and level up, you know, in the beginning. Like, around this part, you see that person moving back and forth. You supposed to fight. You supposed to fight them. Maybe you supposed to keep fighting them repeatedly, getting gold and better items and leveling up that way, which is going to be like forever. Like, why would you want to have your person do this so early? You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean, dog?
Yep. I sure do. I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn my phone off. The phone bugs me. It rings
So
too
that's
much.
the only issue I have with the battles. I mean, apparently we didn't get too far because this enemy is like so overpowered.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you don't stand a chance.
And this is where it crashed for me. It was some kind of integer isn't afloat error or something like that. And you didn't run into that bug?
I didn't run into no bug like that. No.
Hmm.
I guess because you're playing the Linux version and I'm playing the Windows version.
Yeah. True. But it might be something that's skill based. So maybe there's like a plugin or something where they use a certain skill and that's what causes the error. You know, and maybe they didn't use that when you played it. That could be a thing too. Because basically, the difference between because basically what the runtime is for RPG Maker is it's basically like a portable version of the Chromium web browser loading as a website almost. That's like how it works under the hood. So it doesn't matter whether you're on Linux or Mac or Windows, because they all have their own version of Chromium, but it acts almost the same between the OSs, because it's based off of JavaScript and like web framework. So, and that's the advantage of developing in a web-based framework, is that it is cross-platform. So it will run on any operating system that you want it to run on, pretty much. Except there's downsides to web too, but the upside is that you can really have that like cross compatibility. And anything related to the web that has come out in the last 20 years, you can use in your game, theoretically in your game. So it wasn't the worst choice of a stack, in my opinion. But like some of the other game engines like Unity and like Unreal, they sometimes feel kind of bloated. Like I know that they can do a lot, but sometimes like keeping it simple is nice, you know. But I mean, I'm just saying as a developer, but yeah, no, I think that the game it's got potential, but it needs a little more time in the oven, and there's bugs and improvements that should be made like all around. But I don't want to say it's the worst game I've ever played or anything either. So I just feel kind of medium about it. Kind of like it could do. I know Ace can do better though. Ace can do better.
Your mic is off. Your mic is off.
My mic?
Now it's back. It was out.
That's weird because it might have just been the Ninja, like briefly cutting out for you or something. Oh well.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're more on the presentation category now.
Yeah. Well, I think that like what would really help with the presentation is like I mean, I've just seen so many of the same RPG Maker faces and some of the same like assets and stuff. Like improving that might, or making that a little more unique might give the game its own, a little bit, help it stand out a little bit more. Presentation, like, you know, you figure out why you can see the seams of the tile sets. You know, figure out your bugs. The crashing, when you know, nothing should be making your game crash. Yeah, there's a lot that can be improved. I think Ace can do better. I think that it's a good start though. I mean, but I don't know how long this game's been in development. I know his last one was a long time, but I wonder how long this one's been.
Not long. I think maybe a little bit after we started the podcast. I would say about a year and some change. She's probably been working on this in between. It hasn't been long at all.
Yeah, so I think
but it's definitely I mean, he's definitely going in the right direction. But, you know, other than that, I mean, I think most of his time goes into supporting RPG Maker than actually like having time you want for the game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which isn't a bad thing at all, because I don't think he's trying to be a commercial developer or anything like that. I think he's just trying to make games for people to play, which is fine.
Right. Well, isn't that why people? I mean, that's why I make I make a game because I want people to play it. But you know, there's a lot of games out there, so you know, why your game over anyone else's, right? That's a really, you know, that's a question to ask as a developer of your own game, right? So Why? So like, why play this game over any other game, right?
It's Ace of Aces. He's supporting the community, and you don't want nobody to feel left out and bad.
Yeah.
Nah, but for real though, man, like, you know, that goes to like, some people is like really hardcore on making their game like triple A. You know what I mean?
Right.
Versus like somebody that's making games for recreation.
Right. Yeah, for some people it's like just a hobby, you know.
Yeah. And this was what I would call, I won't really call this game like it's slapped together. There's a lot of thought in this game, which is good, you know, which is really good. You know, it has a pretty decent story. It's just the part, can I get to the story if I could get past the enemies? Like, I know I could probably grind and be good, but should I have to is the question.
Right. Or would you want to?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a balancing act. It's you know, you don't want it to be too easy, but you don't want it to be too grindy. It's got to be just right to keep the player engaged. Yet, it's not just handed to you. You know. But yeah, it's got some rough edges. But I think that it's got some potential, but it's got some rough edges that need to be ironed out. If I were to like seek this game out under normal circumstances.
All right, so the critical question is 0 out of 10. What do you rate this game?
I want to say in its current state, it's like for me, it's like a 6.
That's good. 6 is good. It's above half.
Yeah. Well, I see it kind of like the scale of like, you know, when you're in school and like 50%, 59% and below is a failure, and then above that it passes, but to varying degrees, you know. But I would give it a 6. It passes, but it could do better.
Yeah. I give it the same, 6 out of 10. Based off the fact it's the battle system for me. Like, the battles, the enemy balance, it just didn't work. Like, because it builds so much frustration. It builds so much. Look at DJ King, man. Look at DJ King. Read his comment real quick.
6 is pretty high for RPG Maker games, let's be honest. Yeah.
It ain't bad. Like, it's not bad. It's just the balance of the combat, bro.
But again, like, but to DJ King's point, you know, there are a lot of RPG Maker games out there that wouldn't even make it to a 6. It would be like,
I ain't worried about DJ King. DJ King, if DJ King can do better, he needs to join the podcast or just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Join this podcast, then you could give them a 2 or a 3. You could be the new Harlequin, because you just as tough as he is.
Yeah.
Like, real talk. Like, you don't got to do every episode, but if some episodes you want to do and give your opinion, hey, Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, because maybe
We'll take.
we're just a little too nice, right? You know,
Yeah, we're too nice.
we're too
We're
nice.
begging. We're begging you guys. Please stay. Don't go. We're begging right now. But yeah, I mean, mine's is just the battle system, man. Like, other than that, like coming from Ace's background, he did a really better job with this game than the last game. Battle system, the story's a little bit more solid on Immortals because he had a lot more time to work on the story.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But everything else, the map, even the battles are decent. Just like the balancing is not, it's not there.
right.
So I give it a 6 too.
Yeah, but it could be improved, and if it is, then
Yeah.
that score would definitely go up for sure.
Yeah. So what would you give him, like what area should he focus the most on? Like just one area.
I if there was one, there's a few things, but if there was one that I would say is top of the line, it would be getting rid of the bugs that cause the game to crash and not work when you're in the middle of playing. The stuff that breaks the game, like the game breaking stuff. Because that, players are not going to be forgiving of that. Usually they're going to be like, oh man, screw this, and they're going to play another game. So getting those out of the way. The balancing too for the battle system a little bit of different, but like more important than that to me is like get rid of the bugs that cause your game to crash.
That's fair. That's fair. Mine's is you already know, balancing your enemies, balancing your battles. Even if there's a slow burn, I'd rather be able to get there than not get there at all because I can't win.
Right.
So that's my only thing.
Well,
But other than that, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I would play this, but it's not like commercial ready.
right. Yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't pay anything for this game in its current state. Like if it was a commercial project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not have any errors. I had mapping and venting errors. You had a lot of FPS issues because of the weather.
Well,
But other than that, you didn't have much. I agree.
the FPS issues, like I figured out what causes like most of them. It's whenever the game does per frame calculation, whether it's a plugin, whether it's anything. If it's calculating something every single frame, that's what causes most of the lag in like most of the projects. Is a plugin or something is doing too much math every single frame, and then it just locks the whole thing up. So, yeah. Because that's the downside of web, is that it's single-threaded, so if you're doing calculations per frame, you lock up that one thread on your CPU, and then that's what causes the lag.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Loops destroys games. I agree with that. Loops and what's those things? Parallel events.
Parallel events, yeah.
A lot of parallel events. Yes, yes. Never use loops with a parallel event. I agree. No matter what kind of computer you have, you're still gonna have problems.
Right. Yeah. Because that's why you can get lag even if you have like a really fast system, because the way it's built, it'll only use a piece of that system and it only has a limited amount of bandwidth basically, and it can clog it up really easily if you don't optimize. Yeah. I'm looking at Decay's comment. 8 frames. Yeah. Yeah, I can do. You can get. I sometimes do parallel events, but not that many. I can. Usually you can. It can handle like 3 to 5 of them on a map, but it gets pretty bad after a short period of time. And they're not real parallel events. That's the thing. It's multiple events operating at the same time using a single core, single thread. It's still using the main thread. So that's why multiple parallel events lock it up pretty quick, performance-wise. I have come out with some workarounds though on some of my plugins. So for example, I made a plugin that lets you play like full animated GIF animations, which I used, but the problem was like it doesn't load it fast enough, so it actually causes like a lag or a jitter while it's trying to play the animation. But what I did instead was I offloaded the animation itself to what's called a web worker process, and that means it literally doesn't use the main thread at all, so there's no lag and you don't even notice. But like, so there's tricks, there's workarounds you can use to get around it, but the best way to do it is just to optimize it from the start to not lock things up. That's the easiest way to get around it. But yeah, I just say to Ace, keep rolling on it, keep improving, fix your bugs, and we'll see where it goes, I guess.
All right. I have like 300 common events now, which are called on different occasions. Even something simple as starting battles are common events with link for other common events. It is crazy. After not working for a week on my project, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
That can happen, man. Developer hell. Feature creep. But you just got to do the best you can. Just make sure you can store it all in your head. Or you can write a detailed spec and give it to ChatGPT or Claude to fix it for you. I'm just kidding. But kind of not. Okay. Do what I do even.
I could do a documentation, but I work in the IT. We never do that. Do what I do. Even if you don't work on anything, just open the project up to remind yourself what you work on. Okay.
Yeah, basically just look at it and it'll come back to you. Yeah, I work in IT too, so it's not the worst field, but documentation is always not that great, I would say. But yeah. Well, what is there anything else? Or
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
yeah, no, yeah, true. Decay. Yeah, and it's not going to replace anyone. It's Jevons paradox or whatever it's called, where when something becomes more available, the demand goes up for it. So as code gets cheaper to produce, meaning easier for someone to just vibe code it, the more stuff that is in demand, meaning like you're going to get more software and more need for software development and stuff like that from AI, not less.
So Ace of Ace, we love you, but we just giving you feedback, brother. That's all. I think you're gonna have a solid game, bro. You
Yeah,
just gotta,
it just needs a little more time in the oven for sure.
exactly, exactly, and we gotta fix these crashes, these errors, you know, so we can enjoy your game because I can't even play your game. Like how many times I tried to launch it, I just can't play it.
Oh yeah, because you were saying that you had a bug where like after it crashed or whatever, or
Yeah, like
now
once
when
it,
you try to open it again, it doesn't let you open it again.
yeah, and I gotta, even if I download it again, like I can't play it. Sometimes it plays when it wants to, not all the time.
Consistency would be good. Then is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I just say keep going, Ace. Keep going. Keep developing. Keep churning away. And we'll see where it takes you. So, D7. What? So after today, like this game, what game? Isn't it your choice next? What do you think? What are you thinking we're gonna do next?
All right. I think the next game gonna be on me, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
All right. So, uh, I will let you know
Okay.
who's the next victim gonna be. Hmm. And until next time, guys, I guess we'll see y'all later.
Awesome. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
All
Take
right,
it
guys.
easy.
Peace out.